I'm Jocelyn Thompson, and welcome to Living and Breathing Stage Management. I'd first like to thank RPAA for the opportunity to highlight stage management and their Lights Up Youth series. It's an incredible field that, unless you live and breathe in the arts, you tend not to know all the ins and outs that stage management is about. I myself have been fortunate to work as a stage manager across the United States for the past decade plus in my career. So what is stage management, you ask? A stage manager is the person who translates between everyone and everything. You have your tech and creative, your cast to director, your designers to technicians. The better you are at filling in the gaps with people, the better you become at solving issues before they become issues, and the more valuable you are to the show that you're working on. Typically, your stage manager is there from the first rehearsal through the tech process and maintains the vision, the creative vision of a show through the entire performance run of a production. Sounds a little crazy, right? But that being said, it is a field in which you will have such an opportunity to build an arsenal of resources and skills. It is a field that I could not imagine myself not being a part of. I discovered quickly, while not as visually artistic as the other design elements in theater, stage management is very much the business of creating shows. It's an artistic element in its own right. And that is because stage management is just as much about the ability to do the job as your visibility in doing the job. Stage managers set the tone for everything in the process. If there's nothing else that you take away from this workshop, remember that stage managers set the tone. So what is that? What is setting the tone? What is your tone? Ask any team leader or boss, and they will say setting the tone is one of the most important things you can do. As a stage manager, you have to exemplify that rule. You must exude confidence to your entire company. Be a balance of authority and yet compassion to your cast. Diligently serve your directors and designers. Communicate efficiently, clearly to your crew. Then push your company to the brink of schedule while minding all of your rules and whatnot. It is a very delicate balance to strike. Learning to set a tone that is clear, firm, and friendly, yet not too friendly, because we don't want them to walk all over you. It's something that will serve you well in stage management or any career field that you choose. Personally, sometimes I feel that the very first email I send to my cast detailing pertinent information is what sets my tone. Did I misspell a name? Did I send out the wrong directions? Did I send an email that has broken attachment links that they cannot access? Did I have to send the same welcome email more than once because I totally screwed up in information or in the text? Think about it. How many times do you get an email or a text message from a friend, or you see a post online and it's just the information in it is a little wonky, it's a little bit weird. You take a step back and you start to question the information that you're receiving and maybe even the person who sent you the information. As an actor who is essentially putting their safety in your hands as a stage manager, you never want for your producers or your director to question the information that you have given them. That thought should never cross their mind. Usually though, your tone is set during your first rehearsal when you and your cast meet face to face. During my first rehearsals, I like to show off a bit of my personality. Big, loud, funny, vivacious, yet strict, and here to do a job. A job I take very seriously, and I expect as my actor, you will do the same. Important part of stage management is our job when it comes to blocking. As stage manager or being a part of the stage management team, your job is to take down blocking notes and sometimes even choreography notes. Why must you sit there with a pencil and erase and scratch and scrub and write down every single direction that every actor on this stage is walking to and from, with a twirl and a spin included? It's because that information is necessary, not just for your director so that they can remember how their show is tracking and progressing, but also for those designers. This is information that is vital to them. Your lead actor is standing downstage right, and they have to have a spotlight on them in that moment. But all of a sudden during the show, when we're running tech, they decide to stand on downstage left. Your designer has now completely have to scrap how they have plotted out their show. If your lead actress has to exit upstage right for a costume change and her dressers are waiting for her on upstage right to exit for said costume change because that's what you told them, but instead she's exiting upstage left, that costume change is now delayed and it's not going to be as quick and smooth as it's supposed to be because your notes were not translated correctly. That's what's so important about stage management. We are literally holding everything together. All the little pieces of this production all come together underneath of your belt. That's why I say that stage management is an artistic element because you are creating this show. As a stage manager, I draft tons of paperwork. Checklists, spreadsheets, graphs, breakdowns, you name it, I draft it. This paperwork is also a part of your tone. If another person has to step in to take over your show due to illness, or if your show happens to move to a different venue with a new team, that team counts on your paperwork to be able to rebuild the show, to maintain the show. It has to be clear, concise, and detailed. Your paperwork is just as important as your vocal tone, your energy tone, because it can make or break your career in stage management. Coming across the screen, you're going to now see some samples of templates that I use in my paperwork. The first one is a copy of what's called a French scene breakdown. I love to use these when I am working on musicals. Big shows, lots of transitions, lots of characters who may play multiple people, and every song, every scene, every little moment can be broken down within this French scene breakdown. You see that you have your characters that are listed on your left-hand side, and then at the top, every scene is broken down within a scene. And by that, I mean that every time a character exits, you would then create a new scene. So if Bobby Joe and Joe Schmo are having a conversation and they're talking it up and chatting it up, hitting the breeze, and Bobby Sue Lynn comes in to the scene, her entrance would then activate a new scene. This template is my scene timing breakdown one. It is one that I use at the first reading. I use it during when we do our first run through. I use it when we do our last run through right before tech, as well as throughout the tech process, so that I am keeping track of the timing of the show. So if you look at the template, you'll see that it is something that has timing broken down, and I can list on the page that the timing changes, as well as at what minute to the second an actor should be getting on stage. This is super important information that I, as a stage manager, can use, because when I am working with my costume crew on transitions and how long they have to do a costume change, or my lighting designer needs to ask me how long is an actor in a certain spot for on stage, so that they can, if they're trying to plot out a certain tracking of lighting cues, or even if my crew backstage are trying to work out their timing for how long they have to make a transition happen. This scene timing breakdown template is my first tool in my arsenal. And this last template is my scene shift template. It is probably my favorite template that I have ever created. Actually, I'm not sure if I created it or if it was a collaboration between me and one of my assistant stage managers when we worked together on Disney's Beauty and the Beast. But this paperwork was created, and it's something that I use now on every one of my shows. It's something that shows the scene that we're in, the shift, and by shift I mean what transition needs to happen on stage, either with my actors or with my crew during a performance when they're moving scenery. And then it lists what scenery is being moved, where that scenery is heading, and then which person, actor or crew, is moving it. It is phenomenal. I love this document. It is it's everything for me, at least. And hopefully to any assistant that I've had who happens to see this video, you think the same thing, because I make you use it. Okay. Remember, no stage manager comes out the gate perfect. Our craft is always growing, it's progressing, which means that our work, our templates have to continue to evolve as well. You may work with someone or Google search information to find better templates for you. Some of my best templates, ones that I've shown you, are from stage managers and assistant stage managers who I have treasured working with. One thing I have grasped while growing in this field is how it prepares you for almost anything. You gain a set of talents that can open the door to many opportunities. Do you remember at the beginning of this workshop when I mentioned that you'd have an arsenal of skills and resources? For me, my arsenal has allowed me to segue into operations management, teaching, event planning, logistical planning. The organization, the communication used as a stage manager, it's paramount. Stage management is a field that you could have a lengthy career in, or it could just be a road stop on your journey to other things. Either way, you will have gained skills and learned a lifestyle that will carry you far. Thanks again for joining me, and go catch some theater.